Hello, Emily.
Hello, Maggie.
How are you doing?
I am good. It's Wednesday evening, and we're coming off of a holiday weekend. And so I am feeling tired.
Yeah, I've definitely been thrown off quite a lot by the Monday off. So I'm getting caught up, but it's all good. Do you like my new microphone?
Look at our mics.
Look at our mics. Look at my mic stand. I bejeweled it.
She's bedazzled. She's very Taylor Swift-esque.
I love it. And
She
I love
looks
our
so good.
our little pink fuzzy tops. They're so cute.
They look so perfect. So, what have you been up to the last week since we last talked about Uptown Girls?
I've been watching Confessions of a Shopaholic,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been vibing. I've been editing our first podcast, which I have to tell our listeners, like, I don't know how long this one's going to be, but I apologize if you felt that 2 hours and 45 minutes was way too long for a podcast, but it is what it is. We'll try to streamline it. Maybe. We'll see how today goes. But, I love a long podcast, so it works for me, and I hope that our audience liked it.
I think there was more to yap about in that episode because it was our first episode. There was a lot of info on Uptown Girls, so I think we'll be a little more streamlined going forward. But it's like I said in the description, like grab a sweet treat, settle in, enjoy the pod. I'm sure people have long commutes, like they got a long pod to listen to. What's not to love?
I know. Exactly.
I have to say, I was happy this past week to not be watching Uptown Girls because I did watch it so many times. And I'm like
Yeah.
taking a break from Uptown Girls with like love and light and all the respect in the world for that movie. I'm happy to take a break, but after this, I'll be happy to take a break from Confessions as well.
I know. I know.
Have you been
I
watching
think,
anything else this week?
I started the new Bennett sister, or the other Bennett sister,
Mm-hmm.
and so far so good, but I can't believe there's going to be such a gap until the next episodes come out, so it doesn't even feel like I don't even want to finish. Like I'm like, ugh. But it's good. What else? I've been watching Murder, She Wrote,
Mm-hmm.
which I love, but it's on Tubi. So
Tubi!
there's so many ads,
Yeah.
and they're so long,
Is it not on anything
and
else?
not for free. Bless you.
Bless me. Pardon.
And I feel like I was watching something else. A lot of TikTok.
Can I talk about what I've been watching?
I was just about to ask. Yes. What are you watching?
So I have watched Off Campus, I think 3 times through at this point in the past like week and a half. I know you haven't watched it yet. I'm sure like half the people listening to this have watched it. It is the best show. I am obsessed. And I started the other Bennett sister after like my first and a half watch of Off Campus, and then I had to turn it off because I was like, I can't watch this. I just want to watch the people on Off Campus. So then I went back and like that's when I kept on watching Off Campus because it's so good. It's like smutty hockey romance, and it's literally like spicy from the jump. Every single person in it is so hot. The plot, I'm there for the plot. I'm entertained. Every second is so good. And like I know you started it and then didn't finish it, but like you have to go watch it. It's so good.
Well, see, I think I feel the same way you do in reverse because I went to turn it on last night or a couple nights ago, and I was like, I don't want to be in the modern world right now. I'm turning on Regency, and I turned back on like the other Bennett sister, and I watched Pride and Prejudice this week too.
You have to watch Off Campus.
I want to be in the right frame of mind to watch it, but I'm going to watch it.
Once you watch it, like you're genuinely not going to want to watch anything else. Like I just sit when I'm on TikTok, I just sit and watch edits. And I'm reading the books now. Like I'm obsessed. It's so good.
Well, I love that. I'm glad that it speaks to you. I'll watch it.
You have to.
I will.
So good.
I will. Yeah. I feel like I'm just not like in the wanting to watch a college situation right now. Like
I don't
where
even
are
care
the
that they're in college.
romances that aren't like kooky and weird? Like with the 30-year-olds. Like where are the hot 30-year-olds at? No college, no just out of college, no 30-year-old playing a
I was
22-year-old.
gonna say the guy is 30.
So I'm just like, no, I want to watch Quarter Life Crisis romance.
Well, you can watch Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce IRL at the Cavs game,
No,
the
no.
Cavs Knicks game.
That I think I'm in the minority here, but them at the Knicks Cavs game, is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
That gave me the ick.
I think it gave everyone the ick. Like he was.
Well, everything I saw was like, oh my God, I love them together. Oh my God, they're so funny. Oh my God, it's the football player and the nerd. And I'm like, ugh, he's giving me the ick.
We love Taylor though.
We do love Taylor. But I was just like, ugh. But I mean, when you're in love, you're in love.
Yeah,
Your boy can do no wrong. I understand.
that's her man, and they're having a good time. But I mean,
But
like,
I'm way more interested in watching the other side of the court. Like, show me Timothée and Kylie all day
yeah.
long. Those are my edits on TikTok. I just sit and watch everything they've been doing at these Knicks games. I'm so obsessed.
Well, I think that's part of why I was giving everyone the ick because it was like, I mean, we're Knicks fans in this house, so they were there for the Cavs, and it was just like, what? And also, he was being like kooky. So
Yeah, he was goofy as hell.
yeah, she looked great though. Okay, so I have another update for you. In less than a week from now, we will have Love Island back, which is going to be the best news ever. And literally just before we jumped on to record this, they posted on the Love Island US Instagram. Do you want to hear what they posted?
Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh. They're already scared. They're already nervous about what's going to happen. They said, the villa runs on good vibes, and so does this community. We love seeing your reactions, opinions, and debates, but everyone deserves to feel safe and respected. This is a space for fun, not negativity. So keep it kind, keep it positive, and remember, this is Love Island. And I'm like, oh, they haven't even started, and people are already like hating. Like, I don't even think they haven't posted like teasers or anything of what anyone who's going to be on the show or anything, and they're already getting like hate mail and they have to address it. Literally, I feel like we'd be at least a week in before they're like cyberbullying these people.
I think they already just know that people get so riled up on this show and so invested, so they're just preemptively being like, keep it chill, keep it
Yeah, like
nice.
please don't, please don't. Well, I'm so excited for the show, and I will be sat every night at 9:00.
Sat. Me too.
I can't
Oh my
wait.
God. I can't wait.
They're gonna pick the most like diabolical, scary, awful men and the most perfect women,
I can't wait.
as per usual.
Also wanted to refer back to a conversation we had in our first episode. So we were talking about watching The Exorcist, and I was like, we have to stop. I was like, we have to stop saying this word. Like, if we even say it too many times, I'm going to have bad dreams about it. I am here to confirm that I did have bad dreams about the devil.
Great.
So,
Great.
there we go. Self-fulfilling prophecy.
So let's not talk about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to like clear that up in case anyone was on pins and needles wondering if I had bad dreams about the devil, and I sure did.
And I sure did. I've been having weird dreams
Mm.
about like rodents and bugs and my apartment being filled with them. I don't want to talk about that either because then I will dream about that tonight as well. So no manifestation in this house.
Okay. We can scoot on past the rodents. Also, when I was doing a re-listen of the podcast before we post it, there's one point where I'm like, I'm crying and I sniffle and it sounds so performative. I just wanted to confirm that that was real. Even though it sounds really annoying.
I was proofing it. I was like, people are going to think it's not real, but I know you so well that I was like, Diva is crying. And I was crying, but I block it out. so you can't really tell, but I was tearing up at that part as well.
Well, I was like, damn, why is my sniffle so loud?
You're like,
But I didn't do anything to fix it. I just like left it in. I was like, the
yeah,
people need to know.
that's your truth.
That's my truth. I'm a
I love it.
crier. Are you drinking anything fun for the pod?
Yeah, tonight I'm having, what's it called? I'm having an island punch spindrift at Spindrift. Feel free to hop into our DMs. So I'm having this Spindrift with some ice, and then I put a strawberry shortcake polka packet, which are those like coffee drink syrups packets that I like that have like no sugar and fiber. So I'm having that in my cute cup, and it's so good. Are you having a drink tonight?
I am. Yours sounds delicious. I am having my sexy water.
Shout out Sexy Water.
Shout out sexy water. We have a water base, and then we
Totally.
have creatine, lymphatic support tincture, turmeric tincture, and electrolytes by Legendary Milk. Feel free to hop in our DMs because I love Legendary Milk.
We do love
and I
Legendary
use it
Milk.
every single day. It's so delicious.
It is so good. I love Legendary Milk too.
Yeah, it's delicious.
So we both have a fun bevy, and we have a
fun...
and
my tinctures are by Mary Ruths. And if Mary Ruths wants to jump in our DMs, she can too.
And if any like other brands, our soulmates,
yeah, if my
anyone
want
to hop in our DMs, our DMs are open. Also, the followers, please hop in our DMs. Our DMs are open for anyone, truly.
Yeah. Yes.
So we have fun bevies, and we have a fun convo ahead. And Maggie, I have to tell you something.
What?
When I shop, the world gets better, is better, then it's not anymore, and I have to do it again. This week on my sister's favorite movie podcast, we are covering Confessions of a Shopaholic.
Woohoo! Confessions of a Shopaholic. They try to make me go to rehab, but I say no.
Perfect song for them to put into this movie. I'm obsessed. Okay, so I'm going to hit us with a description of the movie, and then we'll get into all our chatter about this movie. And for the listeners, as a little bit of context, how we're going to do this is, since I picked the movie this week, I did most of the research. So a lot of this is going to be new info for Maggie, new info for you guys listening. So that should make it really fun. Obviously, Maggie has brought her thoughts on the film and has watched it many a time, but I've gathered kind of all the background info that I'll be throwing at her as we dive into the film. Okay, here's the description. And as you so beautifully did last week with Uptown Girls, I also pulled this from the OG DVD cover. Okay.
Very good.
Get ready to fall in love with the adorable Becky Bloomwood. Parentheses commentary from me. She barely goes by Becky in this movie, but they use Becky throughout the whole description. So that was awesome.
That's weird.
I know. In the hilarious romantic comedy Confessions of a Shopaholic, living in glamorous New York, Becky desperately wants a job writing for a high fashion magazine. Don't we all? She gets her stilettos in the door when she gets a job writing a personal finance column at a sister publication. Much to her surprise, her column not only becomes a hit, but she falls head over high heels for her overworked yet handsome boss. But Becky has a secret that leads to some hilarious hijinks that could unravel it all. From the best-selling novel and featuring the perfect comedic cast, it's the feel-good, must-have romantic comedy you'll fall in love with over and over again. Got any thoughts on that description?
I mean, yeah. Sounded good.
Okay, so a little bit about Confessions of a Shopaholic. Confessions of a Shopaholic is based on a series of books by an author named Sophie Kinsella. Sophie was a British author. She wrote a lot of books in this genre. She actually very sadly recently passed away from cancer, but she was a super prolific author, had written a lot of books, again, in this genre. And do you want to hear something crazy about this specific series?
Yeah.
Guess how many books were in the Confessions of a Shopaholic series?
10.
9.
9.
So that's a lot.
I thought that
I
it
was
was
surprised.
10.
Maybe it was 10. I read something that said 9. But that's a lot.
I know. I saw that. I was like, oh, I thought it was just one book. I didn't realize it was a series.
Yeah. So it was based on this series of books, and the books were originally set in the UK, but for the movie, they decided to set it in New York for like mass appeal, and they basically wanted to have like the Sex and the City demo kind of be into this movie. So they set it in New York.
I think it worked because it basically looks like a Sex and the City movie. Like even the cinematography and everything. I was like, oh, this looks like Sex and the City. The movie, not the show.
I thought the same because like in the opening scene when it's like the shopping, like it's like the department store, I was like, this looks like the opening of Sex and the City, kind of.
Yeah, I was like, this is
like
the same New York from Sex and the City. Like Carrie Bradshaw is in the same city as Rebecca Bloomwood, for sure.
And for context, this movie came out 1 year after Sex and the City 1, the movie.
Okay.
So
I was
they're
just
like,
about to ask that because I couldn't remember when that came out.
So we're right around the same time. So this movie has a stacked cast. Like the casting is really good. So the cast is like there are some comedy legends in this movie. Okay, so we have Isla Fischer as Rebecca Bloomwood, Hugh Dancy from Ella Enchanted, iconic, as Luke Brandon. Then we have Kristen Ritter as the best friend. Kristen Ritter was on Gilmore Girls. Shout out. And then Rebecca's parents, it's Joan Cusack and John Goodman. Like, what? And then kind of like people working, like the owner of the media company, it's John Lithgow, which I was like, that's crazy casting. And then Hugh Dancy's character works with Fred Armisen, obviously from SNL fame. Then we have Leslie Bibb from White Lotus as the like bitchy girl at the fashion magazine.
And Ricky Bobby.
And Ricky Bobby. We have Ed Helm is in it, which we'll talk about his character later because there's a funny story there. But like, this is a stacked cast.
Yeah. If you would have told me that Joan Cusack and John Goodman were in this movie, I would have been like, what? Like when that, because it's been so long since I've seen this movie. It was crazy because when the movie started, I was like, oh yeah, like I remember this movie. I could almost remember this movie word for word. I can't believe I remember it so well. And then like Joan Cusack showed up and I was like, wait, what? I do not remember this. Like,
what are you doing here?
I know like all the parent stuff. I was like, holy crap. I do not recall this whatsoever.
That's what I was going to ask. If like when you went into watching it, if you knew the cast, like if you remembered the cast aside from like Isla Fischer and Hugh Dancy.
No. I didn't remember John Lithgow. I didn't remember the lady from White Lotus. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, so it's like a really stacked, iconic cast. And a little background about kind of the creatives and producers behind this film. So the movie was directed by PJ Hogan, who had done My Best Friend's Wedding, Muriel's Wedding, which I don't know what that movie is, and he had done Peter Pan, which we talked about last week.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
I was like, okay, so he was on some iconic movies. This was a Disney production. And it was produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, who did like the Pirates movies and Top Gun. So he did a lot of like big series and then kind of randomly had Confessions of a Shopaholic. And so PJ Hogan, the director, had said about the casting that he was really nervous about casting this movie because they needed someone perfect for Rebecca Bloomwood. And he said when they were casting the movie, they were looking for someone, which this is crazy because we talked about this last week. They were looking for someone who had a Lucille Ball energy.
Oh my
And then
God.
they found Isla Fischer. And in the interview, he was like, she's perfect because she is a trained clown. She went to clown school in France.
Did she really?
Mm-hmm.
That feels right.
That tracks. So he was like, she literally was like a Lucille Ball type. Like, I mean, she looks like her with like the red hair and the big eyes, but he was like, she's literally like comedically trained. So
Yeah.
they were happy with their casting.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of peeked at reviews and stuff, and everything was like, meh, on the movie, but everything loved her because
Yeah.
she is so funny.
Yeah. She's hilarious. We'll get into the reviews in just a little. I want to talk about the costume designer was Patricia Field, who did
That's
Sex
another
and the City.
thing. I was like, that's why it also feels like it's in the same world as the Sex and the City movies. Like the movies are so different from the show. So I'm just like, this belongs to the Sex and the City movie world. But I was like, these costumes could easily be on the Four Girls. And I'm like, what a time. It's of the time. It's of the Pat Field Sex and the City world.
Movie era. I feel like a lot of Rebecca's looks, because they're very colorful, are very like Samantha. Like they're very like structured silhouettes, but like neons.
Yeah.
But like some of the like more frilly, like tutu-esque stuff is very Carrie, but I feel like there was a lot of like Samantha
Yeah, I can
energy.
see that.
Yeah. So she did the costume design, and she obviously did Sex in the City. She did Ugly Betty, Emily in Paris, and Younger. So like all these like New York women in media movies. All my favorite movies. And in an interview, she talked about the costume. She said, for the design, she said, it's colorful, glamorous, and sexy with great accessories, bags, scarves, hint, hint, and belts. The style is young and fresh, younger than Sex and the City or The Devil Wears Prada. Maybe. Do you think it's younger?
I can just feel the like how the things are layered and the colors that are picked are like very Pat Field. Just like it's just like a style.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to like pinpoint, but I feel like it's probably fresher because there's so many like patterns and experimental ways of putting on the clothes. Yeah. It's interesting.
I can see that.
To think about. Mm-hmm.
I can see that. So we can talk about the costumes more later, but just as like a little hint, it's a lot of designer throughout the movie. It's a lot of like Gucci, Pucci, etc. And but then Pat Field said in an interview, she was like, I got a lot of the stuff from a mall in Tokyo. Like it's not super expensive stuff, but all of the stuff that kind of like stands out throughout the movie is designer. So just putting that out there.
Cool.
And then, okay, so I'm going to go through earnings and then some details about the time period. So the movie did over 100 million worldwide, 15 million during opening weekend. And do you want to hear what it debuted after that weekend? So it came in at number 4 after Taken. No idea. Oh, that's like Liam Neeson.
I think so.
Okay.
Like, I will find you. I will kill you.
Yeah. So came in after Taken. And then it had a big competitor at the time. He's Just Not That Into You.
That movie you like? No, you like Something Borrowed.
Something Borrowed. I do like He's Just Not That Into You, but I love Something Borrowed. And then it was another scary movie weekend, Friday the 13th.
What the heck?
I know. So much like spooky. And this was a V-Day launch, February 13th, 2009. Interesting.
Galentine's Day.
Galentine's Day, correct. And like I said, this was based on the book series by Sophie Kinsella, and I just wanted to shout out the original title of the book, which was not as good. It was The Secret Dream World of a Shopaholic.
Wow. Were any of the books in the series named Confessions of a Shopaholic?
I don't know that, but do you want to hear what the movie titles were in other countries?
Yeah, I do.
They were kind of interesting.
Okay.
So, Russia and South Korea, it was just called Shopaholic.
Okay.
Period.
Period.
Singapore and Taiwan, Shopaholic's Fantasy World. Japan, I'm a shopping addict! Exclamation point. That one was funny. Germany, this one is interesting. Germany was Shopaholic, the bargain hunter. Which, like, she wasn't until she had to be.
Yeah, she wasn't. That's weird.
Brazil, Becky Bloom's Shopping Delusions.
Okay, Brazil, go off.
Yeah. Portugal and Latin America, crazy about shopping. Period.
Yeah, that one's good.
And then Italy was my favorite. Do you want to guess?
Oh my God.
It's so
Tell
funny.
me.
I love shopping. Period. They said, give it to them straight. I love shopping.
I love shopping. I love shopping for jobs, men, and clothes.
Yeah, that's Becky Bloomwood's life right there.
Becky Bloomwood.
So those are the movie titles, which I thought was hilarious. Well, this movie came out in 2009. You were how old?
I was 16, 17.
Okay, and
I was
was
a
like
senior in high school.
And I was like
Or
probably
no,
11.
I was a junior in high school.
And I was like 11. And I wanted to ask you, do you remember seeing this movie in theaters?
No. I remember the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely saw it in theaters because I was at the movies all the time. But I don't remember seeing it in the theater.
I also don't remember seeing it, but I'm assuming we were there.
Yeah.
That said, there were a lot of other big movies that came out that year, one of which I do remember us being at, two of which I remember us being at. We had Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
For being at that too. I went to the midnight premiere with a group of friends from school, and we had done Harry Potter trivia at a party before, and I dominated. And I remember this guy was sitting next to me, and he was like, "Wait, you really know your Harry Potter?" And I was like, "I don't come to play. I know my Harry Potter."
Yeah, like, come on.
Come on.
And then we had Twilight, the second one, New Moon. Is that what it's called? I literally put Twilight 2.
Yeah, Twilight 2. The second.
I think it's New Moon, right?
Jacob's return. Jacob's arrival.
Yeah. Wait, it's Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. Okay. So yeah. New Moon. And then
That's
a movie.
So exciting.
I know, it was such a good summer. And then a movie I know we for damn sure did not see, Avatar.
No, I didn't see that.
I've never seen that, and it's like my lot in life to never watch that movie. It doesn't speak.
Yeah,
to me.
it doesn't speak to me. I don't need to see it. I don't even need to go on the rides at Disney World.
I'll go on the ride and have the special
I
drinks.
will go on them. But if there's a line, I'm not like pressed about missing it.
No. So that was the summer. And then, okay, so there's some interesting commentary about this time period. So this movie came out in 2009, and there was a lot of rom-coms that came out this year, and a lot of like articles and commentators and blah 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 dub this like the end of the rom-com era. So that year, He's Just Not That Into You came out the same weekend, and then we also had some rom-coms that are like very popular, or like kind of popular, but not like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, When Harry Met Sally, like that, like not the top tier rom-coms. It was He's Just Not That Into You. This isn't a rom-com, but Time Traveler's Wife, 500 Days of Summer. This one I do love, Bride Wars, Couples Retreat, It's Complicated, The Proposal, which is a great one.
It's Complicated. One of my favorites.
It's Complicated is great. And then The Ugly Truth. So,
I was trying to remember the name of that one. I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing The Ugly Truth in theaters.
mhm.
Gerard Butler.
So kind of like a mixed bag. Like there was a lot more that came out that year. Some like really really good ones, and then some that I feel like were kind of like you saw it. I've seen them all multiple times, but probably most people saw them once,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So that was kind of like 2009. And then I think the next year is indicative of this kind of maybe being a slowdown in the rom-com genre, or like we weren't getting as good of rom-coms, because the next year kind of some of the top ones were Life as We Know It. No. Letters to Juliet. I'll take it. It's not my
I
favorite.
haven't seen it.
You'll be watching it next week. Just kidding. Leap Year, which we've seen.
Yeah, that one's cute.
It's
I've watched
cute,
that a
but
couple times.
it's not,
Yeah.
it's not the best. So kind of, kind of a mixed bag around this time period.
Why do you think that is? Do you think like our leads aren't as interesting? Do you think our storylines aren't hitting? Do you think like we're I don't even know, like this
Well,
I
it's
was about to say the
interesting.
same ideas aren't hitting, but I feel like they were trying to make something happen that just like wasn't happening.
I think so. Like that year, I feel like He's Just Not That Into You was probably like one of the most popular rom-coms that came out that year, and that's like not a happy movie. Like the vibes are not good, all the men suck. It's like it's giving scary vibes. And then Bride Wars, I feel like, or The Proposal, actually, I feel like The Proposal and It's Complicated were like the best rom-coms that came out that year. And then Bride Wars, I think, is one of my favorites that came out that year, but that's really not a rom-com to me.
Yeah, I was
Like
like that's not a rom-com.
that's not about the romance. So I think we were trying to like maybe do experimental takes on the rom-com, and they weren't good, because The Ugly Truth, I feel like The Ugly Truth, He's Just Not That Into You, even It's Complicated in a Way, which is, I do love that movie, and and Couples Retreat, like all these movies are just being like, yeah, like men suck, isn't it hard? Like,
Yeah, and it's
so
like but
hard.
like the worst men who talk crudely and objectify you, they have a heart of gold under all of that. Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Which this movie wasn't like that, which we'll get into it. But so I don't know, it was kind of like a weird time for rom-coms. I feel like we were experimenting. And
Mhm.
then it was a big year in pop culture aside from the movies. We had number one song My Life Would Suck Without You by Kelly Clarkson, which is a banger.
Here's the
Then
thing. We started
started
out
out
friends.
friends.
Yeah, yeah.
So like shout out to that. Then in the vein of Kelly Clarkson, the number one TV show was American Idol. And
Who
then
won that year, do you know?
no, I didn't look. Oh crap. I should have looked. And then just another thing to make us all feel old AF. This was the year that RuPaul's Drag Race premiered.
RuPaul's Drag Race made the best woman win.
So premiered was crazy. And then Heath Ledger posthumously won the Oscar this year.
Wow. I can't believe all of that happened in the same year.
I know. And then, so this was mid 2009. So, some very important context about this year was it was the end of the recession, which was very informative to what happened with this movie. Did you look into this at all?
No.
Okay. So, obviously, 2008 was when the market crashed and the recession began. In 2009, when this movie came out, we were still in a recession. We're kind of like still in the throes of it, and the economy was like slowly on the rise at this point. But obviously, like financial instability was a very sensitive subject at the time, as it always is. But at this time, it was like informing our country. Okay. So for that reason, this movie was very poorly received. it came out at the wrong time in a really big way. So almost every review I looked at was like poorly timed, bad timing, not good in the economy. And that like really was the gist of what was going on with this movie. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the reviews. Where we are at now, it has a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty bad. Okay. Then beyond the recession of it all, which we'll get into, most reviews were calling it like a knockoff. So this is 2009. Devil Wears Prada came out in 2006. I don't think this movie plot-wise is anything like Devil Wears Prada. However, like the surface level things, a girl working at a magazine in the fashion industry, etc. Sure. Okay, whatever. Similarities. People compared it to Bridget Jones and Legally Blonde. So we can't have movies about women having jobs and wearing clothes because they're similar if you put them out around the same time. So,
oh my God.
I literally said in my notes, I don't see it this way, but oh well. So,
well.
Okay. And then because of what was going on at the time, this is interesting. Is this how long it takes? Wait, did the movie come out in 2008 or 2009?
I saw 2009.
Okay, so maybe I have this wrong in my notes. But basically they said they reshot the ending 2 months before the release of the movie. Details online don't say exactly how they reshot it, but they did kind of like a rewrite to make Rebecca's journey a little more like sympathetic by the end, as kind of like being more sympathetic of the financial struggles that a lot of Americans were going through at the time. So I think the gist I got from kind of how it was being described online was like that the ending might have been a little more like snarky. Like it says, it's this description I read said the final release ending sees Rebecca resolving her debts and changing her spending habits, but it's possible the original ending left a little of her spendthrift tendencies intact. So I think it was like
I paid off my debt. Okay, I'm gonna go. Like, let's go shopping, like, or something like that.
Yeah. So I think it was like supposed to be more of an optimistic ending for Americans at the time. And there was a lot of commentary about the recession and this movie. So they interviewed Sophie Kinsella about, the timing of the movie with what was going on. And she said, this story is about someone who has too much credit thrust upon her too young, and she goes out and gets loads of lovely, shiny things. Then she goes bust and has to deal with it. If we're not all going through that now, ... she trailed off, we're all Becky Bloomwood. So to someone saying it was poor timing, some were saying it's kind of the most realistic timing.
I bet there was tons of people like that we were in a recession and they probably were spending and like going into debt like that.
Yeah. So kind of interesting. And then, so I watched a bunch of interviews and you can tell like it's off. You know what I mean? Like you can tell there's some interesting vibes. Like I felt like all of the interviews, everyone was pretty like reserved and everyone's kind of, Kristen Ritter was wearing like bright colors in a lot of the interviews, but I felt like other than her, like everyone was kind of like in muted tones. Everyone was more covered up, which like a lot of fashion journalists say these things are very indicative of like recession times. Like when the economy's high, people are wearing like, when the economy's high and like the world is good, people are wearing like bright colors and shorts and like more revealing clothing. And then when we're kind of in these like scarier recessionary times, people are like more covered up and conservative. And I was like, I literally feel like I see that in these interviews.
So interesting. Oh my God.
Yeah. And they were all kind of like quiet in the interviews. And I felt like the interviews were a little like dumb. Like this one guy kept asking all of them what they learned about women in the process. And they were all kind of like, why do you ask that?
I'd be like, I would flip it back on him and be like, what did you learn about women when you watched this movie?
He actually did say, he was like, I thought I was going into this to learn something about women, but I didn't. And they're like, okay. Weird.
What?
I know. I was like, why are you asking them about that? And
Who was it?
then
Billy Bush?
it was a man. No, literally. And it was just like, I don't know. The interviews were kind of odd. But Isla Fischer said it was a perfect role for her. She said, it's what I do best. And she said she liked getting to do like the physical comedy of it. And then Hugh Dancy said it was the classic rom-com. And then Kristen Ritter said, which I agree with this, kind of. She said, it's about best friends, fabulous clothes, shopping, and a hot guy. What's not to love?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, simple, period. And that's kind of what they all said about the movie. And I want to talk about some of our favorite things. But before we get started, I just want to say why I picked this movie. So this movie is not in my repertoire. It's not like one of my all-time favorites that I've seen the most amount of times. But I do really like this movie. And I wanted to go for something that was like maybe a little bit more of a surprise. But having watched it, I feel like it's very similar to Uptown Girls in a lot of ways. Like has a lot of similar through lines. But that's kind of why I picked it. And on that note, Maggie, what was your original or initial reaction to watching this movie?
So I kind of went, like I said earlier, I kind of went in, like, I was like, when you said that we were going to watch this movie, I was like, oh, I don't love that movie. It's not my favorite movie. I guess it's my sister's favorite movie.
LOL.
LOL. So yeah, I was like, and then the movie started and I was like, oh my God, I remember this movie. I remember the mannequins and like
The mannequins are so good.
I was like, wow, what a blast from the past. And then like, I'm not gonna lie, the movie lost my interest about 20 minutes in.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like this movie. And then I was like on my phone and then I would tap back in and then I would tap back out and I would tap back in. So, and then I think I've watched it about 4 times now, but I don't think I've watched it straight through. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was like, oh my God. But I feel like just some of the stuff kind of falls off for me. There's some things that feel disjointed and I'm like, why is that happening? But I like the eye candy of it all.
Yeah, it's
But
stunning.
also, I had kind of like a visceral reaction to it because of the financial status of everything right now. And it just kind of like, I think while I was sitting there watching it, I was getting like anxious.
Mhm.
Like, I was like, I don't like talking about debt. I don't like talking about people losing their jobs. I don't like this. Like, it's making me anxious. So, like, I just got chills right now because I was just like, ugh, I don't like this. I don't like this guy hunting her down, the Derek Smith. And I was just like, ugh. So that was like actually, like, it was kind of weird. I was sitting there. I was like, wow, I feel like really stressed. I don't like watching this.
I mean, it's interesting that you say that because I think based on what we just talked about, like that's probably how a lot of people felt who were seeing this movie. So I think that's a very real reaction. And on that note, something Isla Fischer said in an interview more recently, not like super recently, but you know, probably 10 years after this movie came out, she said that following the movie, anytime there was like a financial crisis, financial disruption or something, like when articles would come out or like things on the news or in the newspaper, the like movie poster of her holding the bags was like the
That's
photo
crazy.
they would use. And she was like, I'm literally the like poster child of financial crisis like stories.
Whoa.
So I think people had that same reaction as you, and then it like stuck out and they never forgot, kind of thing.
Crazy.
So that was your experience watching the movie. I actually, part of why I did pick this movie actually was because I saw Hugh Dancy at an airport a couple weeks ago,
No, you
And
didn't.
yes, I did. Yes, I
Tell me
did.
about that.
Yeah, I sent
the
you a
heck?
pic. I sent you a picture. Maybe it didn't go through because it was when I was in Paris, when I landed in Paris. And
No.
maybe I shouldn't bleep out where I said I landed. I don't know if he doesn't want people to know he was in Paris. But I sent you a picture and I was like, just saw this actor. And we were in the customs line together and I was looking at him and he was looking at me, like obviously knew I knew him. And then I was like, man, I want to watch Confessions of a Shopaholic. That's actually part of why I picked this.
Funny.
Wait, I totally thought you knew. So
No, that's so funny.
So that aside, that was part of the reason. But so I went into watching this movie. I have seen it many times, like more than Maggie, but it's not one I watch, every year kind of thing. I think I watched it maybe last summer or the summer before, and I remember like enjoying it. Like I was like, I'm into this movie. Like this movie didn't get its flowers. I also had a visceral reaction to watching this movie this time. So it is far more timely than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
So the movie is about the kind of the state of the media industry at its core. And the movie kicks off with Isla Fisher's character, Rebecca Bloomwood. She's in all this debt. She likes to spend, she likes to shop. And she's kind of like trying to figure things out. She wants to go work at this fashion magazine, but she currently works at a gardening magazine, which she finds out is closing. Sound familiar?
Which is crazy. Which I was going to say, it sounds crazy because if it was today, that garden magazine would be like killing it. It'd be the number one magazine. Like, it'd be,
yeah, it's like
House and Garden, Southern Living, something that's like all over the place.
Town and Country.
Town and Country.
Yeah, so like those types of publications are probably thriving more, unfortunately, than some fashion publications, very sadly, to my heart and soul. But I forgot that is kind of like the instigator thing that gets her to switch jobs and stuff. And I was just like, damn, that's so real. That feels tough right now. And then aside from that, my reaction to this movie, I was like, this is a sleeper banger. It's so good. I was having the time of my life. I, similar to you, had some moments where I went on my phone, a la, like most of the times John Goodman was talking, respectfully. But
see, that's so funny because like I loved all the parent scenes.
No, I was like, boring.
I was more off of my phone when her and her friend when they were in her apartment and stuff.
See, I thought that was funny. Like the scene when they're doing the shots and they write the letters. I thought that was so good. It's just like giving girly pop. You didn't like it.
I don't remember.
Period. That's like the
setup. Who are they
setup.
writing letters to?
That's the setup for how she gets the job. So after she interviews with Hugh Dancy, she goes back and she writes a letter to Alette to be like why she should get the job at that magazine. And then she writes, do you not remember this? This was like a 30-minute portion of the movie.
See, and like, I think I was watching it and I was like, now why are they writing this?
So the friend wanted her to like prove herself to Alette. So, cause she went to Dante West, sounds like Condé Nast, obviously. She went to Dante West. Condé Nast is obviously, or not obviously, maybe, the publisher of Vogue, amongst other publications. She works is trying to work at Dante West, which obviously sounds similar. So she went to go interview for Alette, which she gets there, and the guy is like, they filled it internally, which I'm like, yeah. So real.
And that was crazy that he was like, they filled it internally. They posted it on the website. I was like, but she has an interview scheduled.
Also, I'm like, she was supposed to go home and check her monitor? Like,
yeah, like they're not going to send her an email and be like, oh, the position's been filled. Like, why would they not interview her if she's on the schedule to be interviewed?
I know it, but I'm like, would she have had a phone or like anything with her to know any of this? Like, no.
But he's so funny because Prue!
Damn.
She messed up. She tried to jump on the table or something. Are you
Poor
okay?
Prue.
Yeah, so that guy, though, he's funny because he's, like, mean, but, like, he's, like, sarcastic and, like, "You missed out. No, no, no." But then he's like, "There's an interview happening at
Successful
Financial
saving.
Successful Savings." He's like, "Go now."
I enjoyed him as a character, as a quick
Me
character.
too.
He's cute. He was funny. But so she goes to interview with Hugh Dancy. She obviously doesn't get it, which I want to come back to that scene because I like it. But she goes home and is complaining about like what she's gonna do. And the friend is like, write a letter to Alette being like, here's why you should hire me. So she writes a letter, or she writes a story about something. I don't really recall what the story was about, but she writes a story and sends it to Alette supposedly, and then sends Hugh Dancy's character a letter being like, "You suck," and "You're uptight," and da 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 da. But the letters get switched. So the story she had written, I think it was about like a coat, like a special coat
Oh,
or
yeah, the
something.
cashmere sweater or
Well, no,
something.
that comes up. That's the second one that she writes. So she writes a
Man, did I
story.
not watch this movie? I swear I watched this movie.
Like maybe
This
not,
was one of my TikTok breaks. This is when I was watching Kylie and Timothée.
literally.
Yikes.
So,
Not my
but
favorite movie.
they end up getting swapped, and so he gets the article that she wrote, and that's why he hires her. Do you recall any of that or no?
I recall her, like, being in the coat racks and trying to get the letter, and the guy
Yeah.
flirting with the girl and being like,
Ugh.
"This is my job. I take it so seriously. All these letters get delivered to where they're supposed to go." And he's obviously not doing his job
No, no,
because
no,
the
no.
letter gets misdelivered.
Okay, so overall, I thought this movie was really fun. Like, I really liked it, and I will probably watch it more now. It had a lot more things that I think as an adult make me love it more. And like, I saw a lot of things I have been through in this movie. It's, about the struggling media industry. It's about a girl who wants to be in fashion and is finding her way in that industry and is kind of struggling through it. And I just thought it was really good. Like, I thought it was solid. I I liked that in the interview she says like she's been a journalist for 5 years. That's something that
Mm-hmm.
stood out to me, is like she is kind like, we're gonna get into things we would change, but I just want to go ahead and address mine at the jump. Something I would change is how like low everyone thinks of her, I guess. Like, we're forgetting the fact that she's been working as a writer for 5 years. Like, she can do these jobs, and kind of everyone she talks to is like think like just not thinking highly of her at all. And I'm like, well, what did like she's been doing the job. She can definitely
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
weird because I was like thinking about that too. And I was like, nothing she has done should make any of these people act that way towards her. She's like they don't even know her yet. And like when she comes into, I think it's like her first meeting, like she's kind of late and then like she's
Mm-hmm.
sharpening her pencil and they're all like, "What?" And I'm kind of like, why would she do that? Like I feel like she also knows like how to act. Like I don't know. I was like, why did they just want her to be bumbling, I guess?
I think they want her to be quirky. A lot of reviews kind of like talked negatively about that quality in her, of like media like poorly portraying women as like ditzy and fluffy and like not knowing how to act. And I don't I feel like they were trying to make a point that the Rebecca Bloomwood character is like really quirky and silly, but some parts of it don't fully land because she would not have been sharpening her pencil in a meeting. Like, she worked at a real publication. She knew how to act.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been like, "Oh, sorry, was that like so loud?" And
Yeah.
also, like, I hate how like female archetypes have to be one extreme or the other. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're like a ditzy whatever, or you're like a hard ass. or
Yeah.
like a like complete bitch, like
Like
the
the Leslie Bibb
Alicia.
character. Yeah.
Is it
I
Alicia or Alicia?
Probably Alicia. I think Rebecca deserved more credit, and I also
Hmm.
think like in a lot of the
I think she had
oh
plenty of credit. I think she was she didn't need any
that's
more. She would
crazy.
be out of control.
That's so funny. It's so true. But she did deserve more, and I think a lot of the reviews and then kind of I feel like how they talk about it in like how she's treated as a character is as if her shopping habits are like a moral fault, and I don't really see it that way. Like
Yeah.
every review was like even Isla Fischer when she or not even just Isla Fischer, all of them when they were interviewed, they were like, "No, we don't shop like that. Like we just, we don't have expensive taste. We don't shop. I don't like
I think
shopping."
that's
Like
trying to be like, sorry. I think that's them trying to be like, we're not excessive, we're not gratuitous or like things like that.
and I agree, but then everyone was kind of like, she has a heart of gold, but like she has this problem. And it's like, well, it's not like she's hurting. I mean, she is hurting other people by the end because of her choices, but it's like she's not a bad person, and I feel like they kind of are equating the two in a lot of the like commentary on this movie, and I'm like, that's not quite what it is. But again, maybe that was more tied to the time. So I will say, like, the Derek Smeeth character of it all and her coming up with these excuses, like, that was a good outlet for them to make jokes. Like, a lot of them were pretty funny, I thought. And just, like, the panic of it's very, like, Y2K movie of, like, we have to have this, like, crazy panicky drama and we can't get over that. Like, we can't figure out any way to get through this. And it's, like, it was just funny to me.
Do not pick up your phone. It's Derek Smeeth.
Hilarious.
Do not. I woke up this morning and my alarm went off and it was like, like ding, ding, whatever. And I was like, do not pick up your phone. It's Derek Smeeth. Like my head just like kept saying it over and over. And then I texted you that because it was just in my brain as soon as I woke up this morning.
It scared me when you texted me it because I woke up and the text, it says like the beginning of the text and it was like, do not pick up your phone. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going to be on my phone when I pick up my phone? And then it was like the Derek Smeeth thing. And I thought that was so funny. Okay.
That's so funny.
I want to talk about the romance of this movie.
Hugh Dancy is hot.
Hugh Dancy was doing it for me.
He was doing it for me too. And I remember when I was younger, I was like, he doesn't really do it for me. But like on this watch, I was like, oh, I wouldn't turn Hugh Dancy out of bed.
Out of bed?
Bed. Yeah.
I've never heard that phrase.
You've never heard that phrase before? That's funny.
So Hugh Dancy was really doing it for me.
He was doing it for me too.
He was doing something else. And I feel like I feel like I kind of thought of him as like scruffy in this movie maybe, or just like a little like disheveled. But upon watching it as a 27-year-old, I was like, okay, Hugh Dancy.
Like, no, see, I feel like that rings true too for me. Like, I think I might have thought that too, and like, I wasn't really into him when I was younger, which I think probably was odd back then, because I think a lot of girls thought he was really cute. I was like, I don't get it. But now I'm like, can he be my boss?
Stop. I feel like I remember him from Ella Enchanted, obviously, and I think he's great in that movie. That's, again, like, I like that movie. It's not super in my repertoire. But upon watching this, I was like, man, he's doing a good job. And I saw in interviews, he was like, kind of being like, the character is a workaholic and negative and pessimistic and da-da-da-da. And I was like, I don't know. Like, yeah, he's all those things, but he's kind of like, he's a hard worker. He's really nice to Rebecca. He's like trying to help her. And like, I don't know. I was like, he's charming. I don't think it's so like doom and gloom from him the whole movie. Do you think?
Yeah. Well, maybe they thought his character was weird because it's one of the only guys in a rom-com that doesn't talk about her like she's an idiot.
Mm.
Like he knows that she can do good things, and
Mhm.
when she stumbles or messes up, he doesn't think like, oh, she's kooky and weird. He's always kind of like, I know you can do better. Like that one article she wrote, he was like, this isn't it. Like, write an article. Like, what did he say? It was something like, do what I hired. Like, no, what did he say? He was saying something like,
Remind me why I hired you.
yeah, remind me why I hired you. So he
Mm.
liked her writing. And like, so he's not like, she's stupid. We're stuck with this girl. Hope she can write. Like,
No.
he's he treats her right. And
Yeah,
we love a man that treats a woman right.
he knew she could do it, and I feel like that part is like a pivotal part of the movie, and it really like warmed my heart because I think she like goes to the sample sale and is feeling freaking insane, and then she comes back and she's looking at the coat and it's like 95% polyester, 5% cashmere, and it's just like a heartbreaking moment for her. Like she's like, what the hell? And then she writes this story about like your store card is like that 95% polyester cashmere coat, like it promises great things to start, and then you realize it was all fake. And she files that, and for some reason we're back at the office that night, I guess, to go over the article, and he's like, this is it. Like he loves the article, and I thought that moment was iconic.
And he lets her write in her voice,
Mm-hmm.
and we love it. Yeah, he lets her write in her voice because, and he just gives her it a chance to see if it resonates, and it does resonate. It
Mm-hmm.
resonates with people all over the world. John
Mm-hmm.
Lithgow's character is very happy.
Yeah, he's very happy with her. And he ends up taking her to like this symposium in the city, and then he takes her to this conference in Miami, and I thought it was just a nice representation of her at work. Like I was like, I appreciate that she is getting these flowers. Basically, I feel like we see a lot of like movies about women at work, and the point is like how much they struggle, and she's struggling more so in like she's distracted by her addiction, understandably so. And then also, she is struggling to figure out how to write in her own voice at a publication that has a totally different voice and like see if her voice does land. And then it obviously does. So that's where the struggle is coming from. But the struggle never comes from like her not being a writer or her not being a good writer. We know she is the whole time.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Me too.
So, okay. So I want to talk about the romance a little bit more. Coming off of Uptown Girls, which has like a romantic plot, kinda, I was like, this is a rom-com. There is comedy and there is romance throughout the whole thing. Like, I appreciated this movie because her and the guy are together most of the movie. Like, they meet at the very beginning of the movie, and then they're spending a lot of time together. Like, it's not like they're not spending time together. You know what I mean? Or like it's a few scenes here and there, or like they have a big falling out for a long period of time and then get back together. It's like they're together in like work and social capacities. And I appreciated that because I was like, it felt like an actual buildup of like, I see them starting to like each other. What were your thoughts?
He bought her a $23 hot dog.
So himself a $23 hot dog.
Oh, yeah. So she could go buy her scarf.
Yeah.
The green scarf.
The green scarf.
That would end up catapulting her to savings magazine fame. What's it called?
Successful Saving.
Successful Savings.
So a little
bit
of background on the green scarf. It was inspired by a Dolce & Gabbana scarf. It's a little unclear from my research whether or not it was the Dolce & Gabbana scarf or it was inspired by one that Pat Field had seen and wanted something similar or found something similar. That was kind of murky. But two interesting fun facts. Isla Fischer has the green scarf. She's not quite sure where it is, but she said she had the green scarf, and I think She had a pair of the shoes, maybe. And then Pat Field has a website where she sells like stuff kind of similar to stuff that she has used in her designs. So she sells like a Carrie nameplate. She sells like a Carrie tutu kind of thing. And she used to sell the green scarf on her website, but she doesn't anymore.
She used to sell on her website the black studded belt that Carrie wears with the pink dress in Sex and City movie, and I
Yeah.
wanted it so bad, but it's sold out. I can't find anywhere that looks just like the one she wears in the movie. I want it.
I'll look into it. I might be able to find it.
Because it's like a studded belt, but it's like so many studded belts have like the silver grommet holes, or the studs don't go all the way around. The studs don't go all the way to the end of the belt. I'm like, no, it has to be a thick belt that's very
all the
particular
way around. We might be able to find that.
and thick.
But yeah, so that was some tea on the green scarf, which I thought was fun.
Don't wear it with yellow.
So true.
Which is weird because I feel like Pat Field would pair the green scarf with yellow.
For sure. She would pair it with
Yeah.
other bright colors.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any additional thoughts on the rom of this rom-com?
The rom of the com. I feel like he's really cute.
He's so cute.
So is he dating Alicia? Are they dating when he's in Miami? Because they have a dinner reservation together.
I feel like she's a snaky snake and was like, oh, we have dinner. You and I have dinner. Like, I'm friends with your mother somehow, or some boo hockey like that. And she's like making him go to dinner. But then he's like, no, to Isla Fischer. He's like, come to dinner. And she's like, no, like, you guys have a reservation. Like, she's confused. But they have a great time in Miami. Let me tell you. When they go to the Prada store and he's like, tuxedo 3 buttons, this shirt, this, I'll try that, and a size 10 shoe and some Advil or whatever. I was like, if I was here, I'd be having the time of my life. This would be the best work trip ever.
I was like, is he a secret shopaholic? Like, for a second, I was like, what if he has also got a problem?
That's the sequel, is like he's been hiding it the whole time.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
But no, it's like his mom is like an heiress, or like
Yeah.
Oh my God, Maggie, that was one of the funniest parts in the movie when they're shopping and he's like, they're in Prada. Like, Isla Fisher's delivery is so good. They're in Prada and he's like, oh, I was raised by my dad in the UK. He's nothing like my mom. My mom is like this socialite heiress, whatever. And when I became an adult, she kind of thought I was gonna like get in line for the family. He says like get in line for the family business or something. And she's like, in line for the throne? And he's like, no. But he doesn't like, he just laughs and like moves on. He doesn't like, you're an idiot at all. But her delivery is so funny and his reaction is so funny. Like, when I watched that part, I was like, this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's so
she's like,
cute.
You're British, you're handsome, you're rich. Are you royalty? Like, what?
And she says it so innocently and like
the throne
in just like a simple way. And he's like, no. And it was just so cute to me. It was like so endearing. So yeah, I honestly felt like this was a good romance plotline.
Yeah, it's just like a sweet, easy romance. It's easy to watch. There's just a tiny bit of misunderstanding with the other female character. And see, when I was watching it, because I was so in and out the first time I was watching it, I was like, okay, they're in Miami. And I was like, okay. And then she shows up at the hotel and like they had like Isla Fischer and Hugh Dancy had been talking about going to the ball and getting this outfit or whatever. And she's like, got a fan from when they've been out dancing in Miami. And she's like, I think I should take this to the ball. And I was like, okay, there's going to be like a ball scene. Okay. And then that lady shows up and she's like, we're going to the ball together. And I was like, ooh, okay. So we're going to be like dancing and there's going to be drama and like he's going to be with her and she's going to be on the sidelines. I can't wait to see it. And then it was like, I'll see you back in New York. And I was like, wait, what? We're not going to see the ball? Aren't we in Miami for the ball?
Not the dinner? That's something different?
No. So, and then I was like, oh, the ball's not happening in Miami? Like, why are we in Miami? And then she's like, I'll see you back in New York. And then they're back in New York. And then like I felt like kind of just the flow of everything was kind of weird. Because like then we're back at their apartment and she's like, I don't have anything to wear. And I was like, I thought the ball was getting ready to. And then the ball ends up being kind of just like a gala dinner. Like, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this sucks. I was like, I don't like it.
It's literally like the Met Gala, like ball wear. Um,
Yeah.
that scene was good. Like when they're at the dinner, it's funny. She gets another moment to have like the physical comedy of like they think she's the waitress because of her dress, and
That
she's
is one of my
holding.
That's one of the funniest parts to me is when she's like the guy's like ordered a drink and she's like in the kitchen in their fridge trying to get like the alcohol out and the head chef is like, what are you doing? And she's
Yeah.
like, and he's like, are you drunk? Like, he's like, what the hell? And he pulls her away and she has a dress on that looks like the dress of all the servers. And she's like,
So
oh,
funny.
no, not me. And he's like, go. And she goes. She does. But I just love when he's like, are you drunk? He's like, oh
It's
my
so
God, get
funny.
off the floor.
And then she ends up like having to kind of like serve her table and then finally gets sat. She's feeling some type of way because the Alicia character is there. And then I thought this scene when they're up on the roof and he comes and he puts his jacket on her and they finally kiss and da 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 da. I thought it was delightful. I thought it was a sweet little romantic scene. It was perfect.
Mm-hmm. I agree. No notes.
No edits to the romance of it all. So, shout out to that. Do you want to hear about some of the like casting almosts?
Oh yeah, I do. I love a casting almost.
So, unknown how accurate these are, but these are what's on the internet. And some I can see, some not really. Reese Witherspoon,
Huh. Yeah.
I think.
She was like rom-com queen, princess at the time.
So she turned it down because she felt it was too similar to Legally Blonde. Whatever. Why is everyone saying that? And then our, fashion movie icon, Anne Hathaway. This one I can see the most because they look similar. Amy Adams.
Yeah, I think they get confused for each other a lot.
Mm-hmm. Emily Blunt and Lindsay Lohan.
I feel like I could see Anne Hathaway in it.
Is there anyone else that you would think of from that time period that you would cast?
Drew Barrymore?
Cute.
No, I can't think of anybody off. Rachel McAdams?
Oh, Rachel McAdams is cute. She could have done it. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
So those were the kind of like options at hand. But Isla Fisher was kind of the obvious pick because she had this like clown comedy, physical comedy. Like I was thinking about when she was the first time Derek Smith calls when she's in the office and she like scurries across the top, like she crawls across the top of the desk.
But yeah.
She's funny.
Could you imagine doing that at work?
I was thinking that. Oh, also a bit of context. So this movie takes place in the Hearst Tower, which is the Hearst offices in New York, which is where I used to work when I worked at Elle. And that is the inside of the building. Like when she's going in and like up the escalator and she's checking in and all that stuff, like the check-in desk was on the bottom floor, not on that upper level where she goes. But like that is the building. Those are the elevators. That is kind of what the office looked like. So I'm like, did they literally film inside of this office? And upon my research, it says this is the first movie that was filmed in the Hearst Tower. And obviously, very famously, Spider-Man was filmed here too. But apparently, this was the first movie that was allowed to film at the tower. So,
how did you feel seeing it? Was it weird?
Yeah, it was a little trippy because it's been like over 4 years since I worked there. It's trippy that it is the building. Like, I feel like you see a lot of like exterior shots, and then the inside is obviously not. If you know the building, like it's obviously not that building, but this was weird because like it was the building.
Yeah, like when they show her going up the escalators and stuff, like I even remember from coming to visit you. I was like, oh yeah.
And like when they have like John Lithgow, I was almost like, is this in the Hearst Tower? Like it looks like it. And then like Hugh Dancy's office, I was like, this like we might be in the tower. So for that reason, it's really good. And also like these types of publications, I don't know about a financial magazine, but the other types of publications are like Hearst-esque magazines. So I thought it all worked nicely. And the bottom of the tower is like glass windows, and they put in those stores into those windows. So like when she's walking around the tower and it's like the mannequins talking to her and stuff, and like she's looking at all the different stores, those aren't there.
So they like just had the building to film at. So they were like, turn this into some more of our set pieces.
Exactly. Like one of those right now is like a Panera. So it's not that. So I thought it was cool to see the tower. Kind of weird because I worked there, but it was like very cool to see. Exciting to see that it's like the actual inside of the building. I want to talk about some like interesting trivia I noticed. Did you notice? So Kristen Ritter plays the friend, and she's like really trying to help Becky Bloomwood. Like she's like paying her rent for her because she owns the apartment, or like it's her apartment. She's trying to do like all these things to kind of help her out. And she's there when they finally go through all her bills to determine how much she owes in debt. Did you hear what she said, how much she owed?
It was like $9,000 or something.
So this is like definitely a mishap that the actress like messed up the line or something. And I looked this up on Reddit and people were talking about it. She says you owe $16,162.70. So that's like obviously not how you say a number. Like you don't say $16,162. You would say like 16,100 and I don't know, 62 or 22 or 26. Like those numbers. Basically, she said 16,000 plus 1,262.
Yeah.
So the number doesn't make sense.
So how did nobody catch that? They're like, yeah, numbers.
Probably because no one is taking notes about this movie like I was, but I wanted to see how much that would be in today's money, like how much she was in debt. And so I was typing it and I was like, I don't know how to type that number. And I was like, whoa, am I
16,120.
And I'm like, I was trying to write it and I was like, I've written about numbers before and I can't seem to figure this out. And then I was like, oh, it's wrong.
That is so funny.
Isn't that funny?
How much is it in today's money?
Yeah, so I looked up like around what $16,000 would be because I don't know what the heck this number was supposed to. Maybe there's no way it was supposed to be $161,000.
No, because she makes like 16,900, I think, at her like sale at the end.
Okay, so $16,000 is approximately $25,000 today. So that's a significant amount of debt that she's in.
Yeah.
So that was a fun piece of trivia. And then my other fun piece of trivia, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of comedy icons in this movie. So we have Fred Armisen, who's kind of like Hugh Dancy's work counterpart. And then we have Ed Helm. So Ed Helm was also on SNL, I believe. And he was supposed to play Derek Smeeth, the debt collector, who's like chasing Rebecca down the whole movie. But he had some sort of like scheduling conflict and couldn't do it. So they hired him to be the person in the tape that she watches on how to end your shopping addiction. And he recorded that like segment in a day. So they really wanted him in this movie.
That's so funny.
Isn't that cute?
Was he on SNL?
Think, right?
He was on The Office, for sure.
I know he was on The Office, and then he was in like the new vacation movies that they tried to do. Did you see that?
I don't know.
Tell me, what is your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is the first Shopaholic Anonymous meeting, and I was like, this is so funny. Fun little piece of trivia, because I was sitting there watching it, and the lady that hosts the event, I was like, who is that? And I kept watching. I was like, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna look it up. I was like, who is it? And finally I had to look it up. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh my God, yeah. Like as soon as I saw the credit, I was like, I know exactly who it is. She is on the first episode of Friends. She's the other chef that works with Monica, who also knows Paul. Paul the wine guy.
Yeah.
Paul.
Oh
Oh yeah, I know
yeah.
Paul.
Wait,
I was like, who is this?
that is the nichest shout
Mhm.
ever, but I love it.
Yeah, Paul.
That's so
Paul the
funny.
wine guy. Oh yeah, I know Paul. You know Paul like I know Paul? So anyways,
LOL.
like
That's good.
yeah, I was like, who is that? But I just like they're all telling their stories, and I like how like that the basketball player, what's his name? I can't remember, but he is like, I bought 7 watches at Cartier today, one for every day of the
One for
week,
every day of the week.
and she's like, Isla Fisher's is like, what store? And then they're like, Rebecca, tell us why you're here. And then she's like talking about it, and she's like, when you're in a store and everything is going perfect, and the smell and the swipe of the cards and all this stuff, and everyone in the meeting is just like they're all freaking out and like loving it so much. I was like, this is funny. Like
It's so
they're
funny.
all like reacting so hard to what she's saying.
Yeah, so the basketball player, it's John Sally, and
Yeah,
he
Sally.
plays D Freak in the movie, but he was in the NBA. So that's like
Yeah.
a fun cameo that they had. But that is one of the funniest parts. And then when she goes to the second meeting and it's the
other lady.
she gives the teacher like or the guide of the meeting her shopping bags to hide them, but then it ends up being, she is leading the meeting and she makes her take it to the thrift store. Like so sad, but they had like a good kind of like comedy of errors happening in this movie.
I know.
Like everything that happened, you're like, dang it. Like, Rebecca, how's she going to get through this one? And then she does. What's your least favorite scene?
What was my least favorite scene? I didn't write one. I guess I was thinking it was my cringe scene. My least favorite scene? I don't like any of the Derek Smith stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like a part of me feeling like anxious. Like somebody's after me. Like I don't like it. It just like makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he's just weird and kind of
Mm-hmm.
gross looking. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just like put off by it.
He's
And like
scary.
anytime it would come back in, I was like, oh. Like we have all these weird like subplots that keep kind of like weaving back in, and that was one that I don't love.
Yeah, that was a hard watch. I will say with the Derek Smith of it all, like she has the ringtone, which I thought was hilarious. Like that's so good. And then her normal ringtone is it's like Rich Girl by Gwen Stefani, which is so funny. And then also at one point, I think like when she's at one of the meetings, the song is like Rehab by Amy Winehouse. So I feel like there's all these like little details that were really good throughout the movie, kind of like building on the Derek Smith plot. My favorite scenes, I thought all the romance scenes were actually really good. I liked it when he comes out on the balcony. Like they just like each other, and it's an easy romance, and I thought that was nice. I thought that her first interview scene with him is really funny when she like
Emily. I was just looking because I was like, I have another scene. I was like, what is it? Because I want to bring it up, and I think is literally what you're about to say.
When she's like she's trying to distract him because like she can't get her resume out, and she doesn't want to explain why she knows Finnish. Like she kind of, and that's another thing. I'm like, girl, why are you lying? Like you have been a journalist for 5 years. You're qualified for this job. You don't need to lie about anything.
Because nobody checks up on Finland.
Yeah, that's what her reasoning. But she's like, oh my God, what is that behind you? Is that a naked man? And it's like behind him is a like a billboard of like a underwear model or something. And she's just like if I met her in real life, I would be like, oh my God, this girl is so chaotic and like interesting, like so weird.
I literally, when she's like, oh my, I didn't know what it was. She's like, if I had this office, I would face my computer out or my desk out there. I'd look at it all day. She's like, I wonder what they're seeing on the 5th floor. And I was like, this is some stuff that I would say. Like, I have
Yeah.
definitely been in interviews before where I come across really chaotic, and I would say something like that.
So funny. And then she's like, well, not actually, not actually. And he's like, okay. And then when he scrubs out her name and she's like, did you just scrub out my name? I think it's a little premature. And he just like, he does not know what to make of her. And it's so
And
funny.
he's already starting to fall in love.
Exactly. Do you feel like it's an inappropriate romance?
No, because I think the only problem is that um his status as her boss, but
Mm-hmm.
like they're kind of at the same age and he's not creepy. He's not soliciting anything from her, promising her anything if she's with him. So nothing's like weird about it. I
Yeah.
think just a conflict of interest as her boss is probably an issue, but he's gonna start his own business and call the shots. So
I had the same take. Like, I was like, I could see where maybe someone would say it's inappropriate, but all the factors point to I I think it's all right. So
yeah,
that
because
was
like
one
when they're
of
in Miami, he isn't trying to like move in on her or
mm-mm.
like it's very like innocent and chill.
Yeah, it's never
I feel like.
inappropriate, so I think it's fine. So I thought that was funny. I think this scene when they go to like the symposium or whatever in New York and he's feeding her the lines to ask
I
the
love that part.
finance guy, I guess. And she's like, long pause, no answer. And he's like, no, 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 don't say it. But then he starts laughing and he's kind of like, he laughs for like a second, but then he also looks at her in this way of like, that's so funny that you just said that. And it kind of does add a point. Like he has this moment
Yeah,
of
he's like, it
realization.
works.
Yeah, like at first he's laughing like she's so silly. And then he's like, you just see his demeanor change and he's like, oh, wait, like her saying that does make a point in front of all these people. Like there is a long pause and no answer. And I thought that was cute. So I thought that was a good moment. And then as far as least favorite scenes, respectfully, I don't love the stuff with the parents, but I think it's important for the plot. And then
I love when the Alette lady is at her parents' house offering her the job and like the parents are like honing
so
in
in
on
it.
it. So
Yeah.
you see like Joan Cusack like in the hallway just like staring and then the dad goes into the living room and sits in the recliner, but he like totally turns his whole body on the side of the chair to like watch them. Like not subtle at all. It's so funny.
What about when they hand the Alette lady the coffee mug and it's Charles and Diana's like wedding mug? And she's like, oh, Charles and Diana. And he's like, no, they're not from Indiana. They're from England. That part made me laugh.
So funny.
As far as least favorite, I don't really have like least favorites. Leslie Bibb's character, I was like, you are playing the mean girl. Like, you're really bothering me. So whenever she came on screen, I was like automatically angry, but I wouldn't say it was a least favorite. I I want to get into cringe peak. It is tough when she is dancing with him. It makes me cringe, but it's cute. Like it's meant to be cringe, but it's tough.
Yeah. It's funny when she like first smacks him with her fan and he's like, whoa, but he doesn't do anything to stop her. He kind of like, she hits him a couple more times and he just kind of rolls with it. He's like, he doesn't be like, God, girl, or anything. He's just like, this girl is crazy and I
Yeah,
am here for it.
he likes it.
So,
I saw a TikTok where someone was like, I like it how at no point does he make a face of judgment. He's like trying to meet her. Like he's like,
yeah.
okay, like how do I dance like this? Like it's just, I feel like he rolls with the punches of everything she does. And that's why he's a good rom-com guy.
Aww. Now, see, that's what I want because I'm a very kooky, crazy
Character.
person. Yeah, I'm a character. I want a guy like this because I'm a kooky, crazy person and I want somebody that rolls with the punches with me because I don't want to stop being crazy and kooky and have to be sophisticated and poised and a grown up.
No, I think if this podcast is going to teach anyone anything, it's be your kookadiest, dookadiest self because that's the way the world wants you to be. So, like,
Yay.
do it. But yeah, I feel
Good.
like that's why that his scenes are great because he's in it with her.
I
And
love it.
then, okay, another one of my favorite scenes is in the end when she has to sell all of her clothes to make money to pay off her debts. She obviously has an emotional tie to the green scarf because that is the name of her column that she was writing at Successful Saving. And she kind of has this like emotional moment. She doesn't want to get rid of the scarf. The scarf is really special. There's like two bidders bidding on the scarf. Someone wins the scarf. And my favorite moment is when we find out that Luke Brandon, Hugh Dancy's character, had bid on and won the scarf, but he was actually both bidders that were competing for the scarf because he was like driving up the price. It was this whole like callback to worth and value and the price of things that we got into when he bought her the hot dog. But I just thought it was so sweet that he did. I felt like it was a perfect rom-com, like seal the deal to get them back together kind of thing. And I also thought it was very funny that we had another bidder on the phone situation following Uptown Girls.
Shit.
Like,
So true.
so many things about this were giving Uptown Girl. It was like kind of fashionista young girl, loses her money, struggling to pay her bills, like needs a job, someone bids on her goods, and it's like there's a romance. I don't know. Like I was just like, okay, everything kind of being aligned.
It's so funny.
Another one of my favorites is when she does write that article about the cashmere coat, and he's like, this is good. Like he likes it, and that just makes me happy for her.
I know, me too. Because he's letting her have a voice.
Yeah.
And we love a man that lets a woman have a voice.
Have her voice.
Ah.
What was your cringe peak?
My cringe peak was her having to decide between the dress for the morning show or keeping the dress that is her bridesmaid's dress for her best friend's wedding. And she chose the dress for the morning show. I was like, girl, you've got to be shitting me. You have tons of dresses. That is not cool.
Not cool. And also, there's no way they would I mean, maybe at this time, I have no idea, but that work would force you to pay for something for a TV segment yourself. Like, I don't know. Doesn't seem right.
Like, it's like, why are they even dressing her? And like, if they were dressing her, they would have paid for it. And like she kind of like picks the dress herself anyways, right? Like, isn't that what happens? They're like, oh, you're going to pick that dress. And it's like, what's happening? Like, why is this even happening?
Yeah, I don't know why like Alette was involved in all of that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Also, the Alette of it all was interesting because like the woman who's the editor-in-chief is Alette. And I was like, we don't really have like magazines like that where like maybe Oprah magazine was one, but it was kind of like
also in the Hearst Tower.
Yes, exactly. I used to share the floor with Hearst. So I don't know. I was just kind of like, it felt like Alette was supposed to be like Elle or Vogue. And I was like, it's funny that they're calling it like this person who's not that old. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like interesting. If we're saying it's like a traditional publication.
Yeah, like how did it get established so fast? How is it like in the oeuvre of the upper echelon of fashion magazines?
Yeah. Speaking of which, that actress in a lot of interviews was kind of like the more recent interviews of talking about the movie. Apparently she did not like doing this movie and didn't like the character and kind of looked at this role as just like a paycheck. So she's kind of talked like kind of negatively about it.
I saw that.
And I was like, okay. Why are you so mad about it? I think it's a
great
movie.
I'm like, okay.
What would you rate the movie?
I think I would rate it a 5.5.
Out of 10. What? Oh my god! Really?
Yeah.
Ouch.
That good or bad?
Like a 7. I thought it was good.
I think it's like right in the middle. Like I think it's good. I don't think it's great, and I don't think it's bad. think it's good. I think it's like a good movie you can put on in the background that you can remember. Oh, that's my sister's favorite movie.
Is there anything about this movie that you would change?
Feel like maybe it's from today's lens, but I feel like I would kind of change the vibe of Alicia Billington.
Mm.
I never feel, well, one, I'm like, why is she even mad with, like, why does she hate Isla Fisher's character? Like, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, does she know that she wanted her job? Like, why? Like, it just seems like right off the bat, she doesn't like her. So I'm just like, that doesn't make sense to me. And then I think I would just change her vibes because I never feel like she's actually a threat to Isla Fisher. Like, there's nothing,
No.
like, I never feel like, oh, she's really going to tempt Hugh Dancy's character away from Isla Fisher. Like, I'm like, I, like, she just gives off the wrong vibes to me. And
Yeah.
I think that they were probably trying to make her like maybe a little more like Emily Blunt's character in The
Mm-hmm.
Devil Wears Prada or something. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't, there's something that's just not like fully fledged. I feel like there's just a character, a male version of what they would think a bitch working at a fashion magazine would be like. And it just
Yeah.
doesn't, I don't know.
I
And
guess
like her
maybe
style and her hair, everything's just super harsh. I don't know. There's just something that I'm not jiving with.
the more like fledged or fleshed out way they could have done it is to have it like Alette does eventually get Isla Fisher's letter or something, and then it's like Isla Fisher resent the letter, and then they're deciding they want to hire her. They want to hire Rebecca and like demote this other girl or something like that to add the like fire in this girl. Or if she had seen like Hugh Dancy and or Luke and Rebecca kissing or something like that to just to like add a little
Yeah, or
context as to
maybe
why.
it could have been like rebuilding the story. But like maybe they meet in the Hearst Tower at the cafeteria or something, and she's like, "Oh my god, who's this cute girl that works at the savings magazine? That's so weird. We can be friends. She's not a threat to me. Blah blah blah." Oh, the guy that works at the savings magazine is a rich family. I want to be with him. And then it's like, oh wait, I think
Mm-hmm.
that he might like this girl too. Like now she's my enemy. Like, like
Yeah, I
there's
think
like it's just like she automatically hates her. Period. And that's women hating women, and I hate that.
yeah, I think it's just like supposed to be a caricature of like a girl who works at a fashion magazine, which especially now, like it's not really like that. So, something I
I wonder
thought
if it
was
was back then.
probably, I think, yeah. I mean, if Devil Wears Prada says anything, like probably, yeah. Like I feel like if you didn't 100% fit the mold, you were automatically unlikable. And like Isla Fisher's kooky, like Rebecca Bloomwood is kooky. She wouldn't fit like
She would be thriving today.
for sure. She would be a magazine girly for sure today.
Yeah.
Um, something about how this movie would be different today. Like when all of this is happening and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with Rebecca Bloomwood and what they're going to do with, or not really Rebecca, what they're going to do with Hugh Dancy mostly when they feel like things aren't working. John Lithgow is like, we're going
Start
to start another magazine.
Yeah, I was like, that didn't age well.
Never would happen today. Today they'd be like, let's close them all. It doesn't
They're
matter. Whatever.
like, yeah, you can like go freelance, go start a blog.
Yeah, start your like go start your Substack dreams, Luke Brandon.
Yeah.
Which now he would, and it would be like the most successful thing in the world as they close down this magazine. And then he would become like a millionaire. But I
I
was
have
like,
something else to kind of go with that in a second.
but I was just like, no one now would ever say that. Okay, what's your thing?
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
When Alette is at her parents' house offering her a role at Alette magazine,
Oh yeah.
and she's like, your column will be affordable fashion, 500 words once a month. Welcome to Alette.
Once a month.
I was like, what?
What?
I can't wait to ask him, like, what was your reaction to that?
Was
You have
like
one
what?
article a month and it's 500 words?
Was like, what in the Carrie Bradshaw column bullshit is this? Like, once a month, once a day. Once a day is No. Like I
Yeah, I was like, you're writing a couple a day, if not
I know.
more.
Like that was crazy, and it just is like I guess they're I don't know what the online landscape looked like then for
Yeah, I guess that
successful
they were just
savings.
writing for the magazine.
Yeah, if a magazine's coming out once a month, I guess she would have a column once a month, but 500 words is pretty short, but I guess maybe.
Now, let's think about this. In 2009, so we'll think like 2000s, early 2000s.
Mhm.
Do you think that's what the job was? Do you think you were a writer in New York and you wrote one column a month and
Like
like you
yeah.
focused on that? That's ridiculous.
I know. And the thing is they were making like probably I don't know, double what that role makes now. They had access to like black town cars. They were going from event to event. It was like a social job. And then they were writing their one column a month. Genuinely.
Can you believe that?
Like that's the sickest job ever.
Yeah, that's wild. Wild.
I think it's a great job now too and I love it, but like then that's a sweet gig.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so that's probably what it would have been. Yeah. Crazy. Okay, I have some favorite quotes I want to throw at you. And my first is so funny. She says, this is when they're going through the bills. She says, they said I was a valued customer. Now they send me hate mail. So good. The delivery's iconic, and that quote is hilarious. And then I thought the beginning was cute and similar to Uptown Girls and the whole fairy tale quality of it all. She says, when I looked into shop windows, I saw another world, a dreamy world full of perfect things, a world where grown-up girls got what they wanted. They were beautiful like fairies or princesses. They didn't even need money. They had magic cards. And I was like, this feels so real to me. Like I'm a girl who loves shopping. I love to buy little things and treats. And I was like, I feel like Isla Fisher. Like that's what when I go to like a really good store, that's how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I really do a good, especially in person shop, I'm like, that was so good. You know, like I just want to, I'm so happy. And so I was like, I feel like I'm a Rebecca Bloomwood. Like I have a lot of these tendencies. Do you feel like Rebecca Bloomwood in any ways?
Actually, with one of my favorite quotes I do, it's like I think they're in the Prada store, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a little tete-a-tete. And he asks her, "Do you have a take on everything in life?" And she's like, "Yes." Like she just has always something to say about anything he's saying. And I'm like, that's me. Like I always just like my mind is always going a million miles a minute that like I could have something to say about anything or like a different opinion. Like cuz like even if I agree with somebody on something, if they say something and I'm like we're having a dialogue, I always think like, "Well, like how would you feel if blah 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 happened?" Like I'm always thinking like devil's advocate or the other side even if I do
Yeah.
agree with somebody. So I think that was funny. I was like, "Oh, I feel like her." Like, yeah, I'm always just like, "Ah!" And
Well,
then
I thought when he said that, when he's like, "Do you have a take on everything?" I was like, the best people do. Like,
yeah,
yeah, she's a person. She's gonna have a take on everything, and she's gonna share it.
and she's like not ashamed. Like she just immediately says yes. She's not like, "Well," or "Oh, sorry, did I say too much?" She's like, "Yeah."
She's actually a good rom-com character and like female. She has flaws, and I think they try to make women maybe look dumb or frivolous in this movie in some ways. But something about her that's a really positive quality is like she has no shame. At no point in this movie is she embarrassed. Like
Yeah.
she like, and that is something we need because I feel like women are instilled to have shame and be embarrassed about everything you say in the office, rethink everything you say to everyone that you ever talk to, and like look a certain way when you come into the office or when you're like in social settings. She has no shame in the best way, even when she's doing insane things. And I love that about her.
She's so cute.
Also, when she's like $200 on Marc Jacobs underwear, I was like, yikes. Probably something I would spend money on. Probably something I would spend money on.
so funny.
Truthfully.
And then I
Yeah.
loved that part was funny. So I love when the dad is like trying to comfort her when they find out about her debt. And he's like, your mother and I think that if the American economy can be billions in debt and survive, so can you. And I was like,
Sweet.
period. That's nice. And like, he's like, I was like, oh, John Goodman. Oh, when he's like, we're going to sell our RV so we can help you pay off your debt. And she's like, no, like that, you can't do that. I won't let you do that. That RV defines you. It's your defining characteristic or whatever. It's all your life, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, that doesn't define me. What defines me is you and your mother. And I was just like,
That's good. Yeah.
I was like, what is up with these men?
The
like
men
the
in
writing
this
staff was
movie.
writing, yeah, like they were writing really good men, except for Derek Smee.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Fred Armisen. I don't like his character.
Me neither.
That's something else I would change. No, that was he was one of my cringe peaks. Just him in general. Hate the character.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I liked like parts. I feel like there was multiple parts where he's like trying to get someone to agree with him about how bad she is, and then the other person is like, no, she's doing great, and then he's like, like he's so like stressed about it.
I think part of it is like his acting chops are obviously there and he did a great job. Like I think the character is like correct. I think the cringe part for me actually is just like how uncomfortable I am watching him because I'm not used to him being just like a straightforward character like this. And it made me feel crazy. Like I was like, oh, he's just like a normal, like mean guy.
You were struggling with this watch.
I was having a lot of feelings, which is weird. I
will say that I think a lot of the men in this movie are so good because it's giving man written by a woman, which, not to bring it up again, this is why you should watch Off Campus, because it's all men written by women. And they're great. So can't wait to talk about that next week when you finally watch. So those were my favorite quotes. Did you have any other favorite quotes?
Also, like in the beginning, when she's walking, looking at the stores, and a cute guy is walking by.
I wanted to talk about this.
When you see someone cute and he smiles and your heart kind of goes like warm butter sliding down hot toast. Well, that's what it's like when I see a store, only it's better. I like that part.
So at this part of the movie, she's walking by a store and this guy is walking past her and she's like, when I moved to New York, I met guys. And that's when I learned da 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 da. And she like goes into the quote that Maggie just read. And from the moment that happened upon this rewatch, I was like, I know I'm going to love this movie. Like, that is the perfect setup for this movie. She loves to shop and she loves fashion, and that is her thing. And I just like that from the beginning, like, she doesn't really care about the guys. And it's like,
yeah,
that's the perfect setup for a rom-com and for her to meet this guy who's kind of like the opposite of her. And I just was like, I love that we're kicking the movie off with this sentiment. And yeah, I love like, I love that this guy is walking past her and it looks like she's eyeing him and he's eyeing her, but really she's looking at like the mannequins beyond. And I'm like, this is just so good. Like it's so, that part of it is perfect.
I love it too. She's not like, it doesn't start off with her desperately seeking a man.
Yeah, and it doesn't start off with her desperately seeking a man, and it doesn't start off with her like being jilted or having a friend that's jilted or having some like man hater initiative. It's just like she's kind of like neutral. She's just like, whatever, there's guys in New York City, but I'm more focused on my shopping.
Yeah.
And it's like, she has the perfect neutral outlook for the romance to like land really nicely, I think. So I would love to talk about how you would cast this movie today. Did you think about this?
Yes, and I came up with one answer for Rebecca and Luke. I was like, okay, these are my answers.
Hit me.
So for Rebecca, I was thinking Sarah Hyland.
That's really good.
I think she would bring the chops so hard. She would eat this roll up.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
And then for Luke, I went British again. Jonathan Bailey.
I said Jonathan Bailey. Okay, I said Jonathan Bailey. Okay, okay. So for Rebecca, I think I just have Uptown Girls on the mind. I said Dakota or Elle Fanning. LOL.
Nice.
And then I also said Emma Stone, maybe. And then I also said Zoe Deutsch, who's in that movie Set It Up that I love with Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
I feel like she could do it. And then for Luke, I obviously said Jonathan Bailey, and I didn't say anything else because Jonathan Bailey's perfect for this role. And then for Alette, I said Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, that would be good.
I also said as a secondary option, Demi Moore. Kind of interesting. Then for Derek Smith, I feel like just based on the vibe I was getting from Derek Smith, I said BJ Novak or Bill Hader.
Ew. Yeah. Totally.
And then for Alicia, I think this was top of mind because of the new Devil Wears Prada movie. I said Simone Ashley.
Yeah. For sure.
And then I said that Joan Cusack should still play the mom if it was recast.
I was thinking that too. That's so funny.
Because I love Joan Cusack. Shout out to her.
Shout out.
And then I want to talk about a couple other things I would change. So I would change, if I was making this movie today, there would be more of an emphasis on like, she's a really good writer and they want her. And then it's like the struggle is her being allowed to find her voice at this place and like figuring that out. But I think it should never be a question of like whether or not she could get this job or all of that sort of thing. And then something I thought the movie that was really wrong in the movie was that at the end when John Lithgow's character is like, let's make this other magazine, like Luke Brandon, come run this magazine. I'm like, we just went through 2 hours to explain the reason this magazine is doing well is because of this one random column that you guys just added from the girl in the green scarf. What does Luke Brandon have to do with any of this? He's not the reason the magazine's doing well. The magazine's doing well because of her column. So the movie should be that they're like, Luke Brandon can either stay and run Successful Saving and Rebecca Bloomwood is going to go start Green Scarf Girl magazine or whatever, or that they're both going to start that together. It should never have been him starting, they're giving him now his own publication to run with this voice because the reason they were doing all of this was because of her.
Were they saying that he knew that like the guy wasn't happy at the job? So instead of losing you completely, let's give you something else to do?
I thought it was like, no, I feel like they made it sound like, I kind of feel like Fred Armisen was involved, maybe. It was like, this isn't the voice of Successful Saving. Like, this isn't how we do it. This isn't right. Da 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 da. And then they're like, okay, well, it's being well received. So let's start I think you're right. Let's start this other publication. But it's like, Rebecca Bloomwood is the reason it's doing well. Let her start her own publication. And so at the end, Rebecca is like, and I work for Luke's new publication, new venture or whatever. And I'm like, girl, that's your venture. That's all you, baby.
Is there anything else that you think would be different today?
This kind of would be different today, but she would have had a middle part today. But I was gonna say she's making a case for the side part because her hair looks incredible the whole movie, and the side part is so cute on her.
I'm side parting today.
Shout out. I am not.
I didn't even do that on purpose because I did a middle part last time, and I feel like it wasn't serving me. So
you're a versatile how I feel about this parter.
I am. I can do it on the other side too. What I feel like would be different today, I feel like her debt would be astronomical.
Same.
I feel like when they were saying it, I literally thought that they said 9,000, but maybe I'm thinking when she gets the first time we see her being like, oh my God. And she's like, I spent $900. I was kind of like, that doesn't seem so bad. It seems like you can get with that with the kind of salary you're getting, probably. I feel like now she would be hundreds of
I think
thousands of
it would have
dollars
been
in debt.
over 100, well over 100,
Yeah.
they would have
I
said.
put 100 plus. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I just feel like the number would be like,
Yeah, like
because
you're
like when they
you
were saying it, I was
feel
like, okay, you can do this. You can do this. You have all this designer stuff. Like, go sell some of your things. I was like, we can take care of this.
yeah, like if she sold several things, like she probably could have, gotten part of the way there.
It's probably just like a sign of the times too. But I was like, she was like the scarf. It was like $120. I was like, okay.
Yeah, scarves are expensive, man.
Yeah. So
I also
I was, and then that got me thinking, because I was like, I don't ever feel like she does go to the sample sale and she's like, oh, the Poochie boots. But I feel like I don't really ever hear her being like, my Prada or my Louis or my Gucci. Like, she's never like name dropping. So I was also like, is she buying designer stuff or is she just buying stuff? Like, what's the
see,
vibes?
I feel like they it kind of like flip-flopped, because I feel like at points they had her talking about designers, but then at the beginning they're like the lavender honey and like
So she's just
her
a spender. She
she's
just
just
likes
like
to
she's
buy.
a shopaholic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, that's yeah.
Yeah.
She's a shopaholic.
These are her confessions.
What, if anything, of her clothes do you think you would want?
Huh.
Was there
I
anything that
did
stood out to you?
I did like the green chartreuse bridesmaid dress with the colorful crinoline underneath. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun.
Chartreuse. I thought it was
Like
pink.
I thought hers was green and the underside was all the colors. Maybe it
It
was
was
pink.
green?
Maybe I'm thinking of her other bridesmaid because they all had different colors on. Maybe
Yeah.
it was pink. But no, yeah, the bridesmaid's dress. And she had on these blue heels when she's wearing her all white outfit at Prada, and I liked the heels too.
Mm-hmm. I would probably never wear these, but the Poochie boots were iconic. Nasty with
Mm-hmm.
the Poochie outfit.
The Poochie. Poochie.
Um,
Poochie.
yeah, I really liked the Poochie boots. Well, I feel like overall a great watch. I would recommend
Question.
it. Mm-hmm.
Let me scroll back up in my question section. So, John Sally plays D Freak, retired NBA player. I was thinking about this because there's also the iconic stunt casting of LeBron James in
So
Trainwreck.
good. So good. LeBron James in Trainwreck deserves an Oscar. It's so good.
Period. And then in Forget Paris, Billy Crystal is like a
Mm-hmm.
ref for basketball games. And we have a lot of the Knicks or something, a lot of those players in there. And then like Fever Pitch, we have like all the baseball players that make appearances, like Chicago Cubs or the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking this and I was trying to, I was like, there's definitely more movies with cameos of these like athletes. Oh my God. I just thinking about this when I was trying to find it. I was like, sports players. I was like, there's definitely a word for this. Athletes.
Athletes.
Athletes. But do you think that these people are stunt casted in these movies for the men that are being quote unquote dragged to these girl movies? Do you think that they throw those people in for the men that are there?
Well, I hate that.
I like was literally thinking that because I was like, huh.
I was going to say you miss the most recent iconic one, which is Carl Anthony Towns was in Devil Wears Prada too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot of memes. So the Knicks are going to the finals, and there have been a lot of memes that like the Knicks haven't lost since Carl Anthony Towns was in Devil Wears Prada too. Like, was that like an omen for them? Which I thought was funny. And Carl Anthony Towns is engaged to Jordan Woods, who is Kylie Jenner's ex-bestie. So they've both been courtside at the games. Just some interesting pop culture trivia for you.
I love it.
Do I think that that's why they're cast? Possibly. But I think then, yes. I think in the case of Devil Wears Prada 2, no. Because they were trying to show that Miranda Priestley is having a party with the most iconic people from New York, and that scene had like cameos of all of these New Yorker icons, and like
Yeah,
the Knicks
I agree
are
with that too.
the Knicks are huge, and like they go to the Met Gala and stuff, or have gone to the Met Gala. So I think now, no, but back then probably. And I feel like we have a lot of that slander of like, what can we add to these movies to get men to go?
Yeah, because I'm thinking, and I'm like, obviously Fever Pitch, which I brought up with the Red Sox. That's
Love that movie.
the whole theme of the movie. So of course they're going to be in it. Does that movie that is a rom-com, does the subject matter get men going to the movies? Question mark.
Fever
And
Pitch
then
is one of my favorite movies, and that's the movie that I watch when I'm sick.
I love that movie too. I haven't watched it in a long time, so
Are we
we'll
watching it
definitely
next
cover that.
week?
Maybe. And then in Forget Paris, it's his job. But then it's like, do they write these jobs so that they can put these athletes into the film so that boys will go see it, so they can put it in the commercials and the previews and everything and make people be like, oh, there's stuff for your boys to see.
Trainwreck is a similar thing that in that that's his job. He's the doctor for the Knicks. I think women are just as into these cameos as men, but I think they were probably using it as a tactic to make men
like,
enjoy something they think they wouldn't, but like they would, because this was a great movie about a good plot. Like what anyone can like it.
And and even if it is for the men, like to me that's cute, because obviously the guys are gonna be like, oh, there's my favorite player, and then be like, what do you like about the movie? And they're gonna be like, I like when blah 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 was talking about his Cartier watches, like that was so funny to me.
Yeah,
that's my bro voice.
LeBron James in Trainwreck is genuinely so good. I can't talk about that enough. That's my favorite part about Trainwreck. So good.
That's so funny.
So I love these kinds of cameos. I think a cameo is fun.
I like it too. Also, I just had like a little like brain moment that we kind of touched on earlier. Leslie Bibb, who plays Alicia, was on the last season of White Lotus, which Jason Isaacs was also in. The director of this movie also directed Peter Pan, which Jason Isaacs was also in.
And which we also talked about last week because it came out the same year as Uptown Girls. So all synergistic.
It is. I should have picked Peter Pan for next week. I did not.
Literally. Okay. On that note, I wanted to share a few things that I felt like were similar to watch. I said, honestly, Uptown Girls, I feel like a lot of similar themes. If you're here for the fashion, obviously Devil Wears Prada. And then if you're looking for a movie about a girl who's in love with her boss, who's not reaching her full potential or trying to reach her full potential at work, has a kind of romance with someone who's the opposite of her, 27 Dresses would be my rec. Maggie's least favorite.
That started playing automatically after Confessions of a Shopaholic.
It's similar. It is similar.
It was. And I was literally like, I fear the day that Emily's going to make me watch this, because I cannot stand Katherine Heigl. The only thing I like her in is Wish Upon a Star from the Disney Channel. Everything else, I'm not a fan.
I like 27 Dresses. I really enjoy it. I think people compare James Marsden and Hugh Dancy a lot. I was seeing in my reviews. So James Marsden, I feel like could have been a recast probably for Hugh Dancy. I really like that movie. I think it's good. I think it's funny. I like the romance in it. I like at the end when after we've built up to them always looking at the groom coming down the aisle, and then you get to see him when she's coming down the aisle. I think it's all good. I like it. You're a hater.
I am.
And we're watching that next week.
And ironically, I picked that for next week's movie.
Do you have anything that you think is similar that you want to recommend to the gals?
I feel like you touched on it. I do love Sophie Kinsella and would recommend her books. My Not So Perfect Life think that's what it's called.
Also, Younger is a similar shout TV wise, has a lot of these same themes, I feel like, to Confessions. So, would recommend that one as well.
Yes. So I fact checked it. Yes. My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. Love that book. Would highly recommend it. It got me through some dark days when I was working at a place that shall not be named.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh, I love this book. It gives me hope. It's a little bit of a rom-com, but it's more about like girls succeeding when they didn't think they could succeed.
Mm-hmm. We
So,
didn't really
would
touch on
recommend.
this, but I just want to say, like, I felt like the female friendship in this one was good too. She has a really good friend who like sticks with her throughout and only gets mad when she's like absolutely pushed to the limit with her
Yeah.
the wedding dress stuff. And so I thought it that like we talked about this last week, but another good depiction of female friendship. And I think Kristen Ritter is like the cutest and she's so pretty and like had really good style and like a good vibe. And I want to see her in more stuff. And I saw that one of the reviews had been like, this movie was setting her up to like be the lead. And I was like, she never really,
I was just
I don't
about
know
to
if she
say,
had that.
she's giving like Zoe Deschanel in Failure to Launch. Like, it's
I
the
was
same kind of
thinking
vibe.
that.
It's the same kind of vibes to me. But I was like, I love her look. Like I'm not kind of into the fashion of this movie as
Mm-hmm.
much,
Me
especially
neither,
with
really.
like Isla Fischer. Like that's kind of my cringe. Like I feel like, oh, this is great from the time period, but if, like there are people that dress like this now, and I'm always just like cringe.
The
But
big
people dress how you
necklaces.
want to dress how you want to dress, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but I feel like my vibes are way more Kristen Ritter's, and I was like, man, I wish we could see a leading female in a romantic film who's like this, but it's not like the point of her character isn't to be like, look how quirky and weird and alt she is. Like just like kind of like let her look like that, but just be like normal vibes, you know?
I was going to say 500 Days of Summer, but that is the point of that movie. But you know what I think is one actually is a movie that I love and I think you love. What If? With Daniel
Yeah,
Radcliffe.
it's sort of like that.
Like I feel like that's the vibe.
But I want dark hair. I like
Okay,
the
well,
dark. I like the black hair and the bangs. Like it's a very statement look.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not yes man Zoe Deschanel. Like I was like, oh, it could be like that, but no, she's kind of like
She's quirky
super.
in that too.
She's twee,
Twee.
twee,
Yeah.
twee, 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 twee.
So I feel like Kristen Ritter is really good in it. Shout out to her.
Also, something I wanted to talk about. I like at the end. I think we kind of talked about how they changed the ending and stuff, but I like how at the end she still kept herself, even though she's becoming responsible. Because I feel like in some iterations that they would try to be super on the nose and they would show her and she'd be like kind of like
Demure.
dressed like very demure and like she's like a little bit less polished or something,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like her hair would be a little more straight, like she wouldn't be super curly anymore
Mm-hmm.
and her dress would probably be muted, but like no, she's still like, super dolled up and cute and she's got her bright colors on, but she's like, I borrowed my friend's dress, blah blah blah, but it's still like a bright and it's still her style, like it's still her
Yeah.
vibes, like she didn't change who she is,
Yeah.
which I love.
Like she never changed for the jobs and she didn't change
Mm-hmm.
after she like gets through her trauma,
Struggles.
honestly, with being a shopping addict. So that's why I like it. Again, like it's this she's shameless in the best way. Not even
Yeah,
shameless. It's just like she's never
compromises who she
yeah,
is.
like she's never let other people's judgments of her bring her down. She just stays on her path and she rocks it and I like that.
I like it too. So overall, I enjoyed this movie.
No, you
Is it my
didn't.
favorite? No. No. Girl, is this my favorite movie? No. It's my sister's favorite movie.
It's not my favorite. It's
no,
someone's
but
favorite.
I enjoyed it. I'm glad we revisited it and it's fun to watch a movie that you have such a reaction to.
Mm-hmm.
And It's also fun doing this podcast because it makes you pay attention to things or evaluate your thoughts on things and not just like let it be like, great, that was fun. Like I
You
had to
didn't
like
pay
really be
attention.
thinking. I didn't pay attention all the way every single time, but we watched it in pieces.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you'd revisit it now?
Not today.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe today because there are stuff that I obviously missed. Yeah, like I'm definitely gonna watch it again. I'm never not gonna not see this movie again.
Yeah. But like in 2 months, if I was like, oh, I want to watch it, would you watch it or would you be like, nah?
I don't know.
Fair. Fair
Depends on
enough.
my mood.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I couldn't tell you.
Can I know what next week is going to be? I'm scared.
Okay. The movie for next week, we are
Drum
going to
roll.
we're gonna be kind of deviating from the vibes, but it's still girly pop. The ladies of my generation, 30 and older, are gonna be psyched for this. Zoom, 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 make my heart go boom, boom.
We're
My
watching
supernova
Xenon?
girl.
Oh my
Xenon!
god. Xenon, girl of the 21st century.
The 21st
I
century.
love Xenon. Are we watching
Now
the first
streaming
one?
on Disney Plus. What'd you say?
Are we watching the first one?
Yep, we're gonna watch the very first Xenon, one of 3. I watched the preview on Disney Plus the other day. I was like, okay, this is the one.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Make my heart go
Make my heart
boom,
go
boom, boom.
My
My
supernova,
supernova
girl.
girl. Oh my god, I'm gonna love this. Raven's in
I
that.
know. Yeah. I totally forgot Raven was in it.
So interesting. Well, I can't wait to watch it. Xenon.
I know. Yeah, Xenon. I'm so excited. It's been a hot minute, but this was like the movie when they were like, Xenon, 8:00 Friday night. It was like, oh
You
my
were
God.
sad.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, Xenon this week. Who's coming over to my house? We're going to watch Xenon. It was a big deal.
Oh my god. Well, I can't wait to chat next week all about Xenon. And I also can't wait to catch up on Love Island, which is starting soon.
Well, this has been great, Emily. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us at mysistersfavoritemoviepod@gmail.com. We are also on Instagram at mysistersfavoritemovie. And TikTok coming soon. Emily is in charge of building us a TikTok. And website coming soon. I'm in charge of building us a website.
All of those things coming soon. Please shoot us a DM if you have any feedback. And also check out our Instagram for our Spotify playlist. So we're going to make a playlist associated with every movie. And Uptown Girls and Confessions are both live if you want some more vibes that feel like these iconic movies that we've watched. And next week, we'll be back at it with Xenon and a Xenon-inspired playlist. Yay!
Oh my gosh, that's going to be hard.
I'm all over it. No, it's not. It's like E.T.
gonna...
by Katy Perry.
Yeah. And if you have enjoyed listening to us, please like and review us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also going to be on YouTube. YouTube coming soon as well. And if you have negative feedback, just DM or email us because
don't publicize.
We can't take the drama.
And on that note, the sisters are off to go to bed. Yeah. Maggie, I love you.
I love you too.
And I'll TTYL. See you next week.
Okay, TTFN. Bye.
Bye.